Dodge has finally released the details on the next generation of Charger, the heart and soul of the Dodge brand. And well, all I can say is the Dodge Charger is dead. Long live the Charger. Long live the Charger. If you buy a next-gen Dodge Charger in late this year, it's gonna need a charger of its own. Dodge is officially bringing an EV muscle car into this world. The Hemi V8 has been swapped out for a 400-volt system, and an 800-volt system on the horizon in the upcoming new Banshee variant that might just be a demon killer. And if EVs don't interest you, well, Dodge is still going to make a gas-guzzling Charger, because, well, of course they are. Dodge doing dodgy things. It's who they are. It's their DNA. And this thing looks set to be the American Godzilla. It'll have a twin-turbo powered 6-cylinder engine linked to an all-wheel drive system, good for 550 combustible ponies. Now, that's something that I bet you didn't see coming. But yeah, it's the American GTR, and Turbo 6 are proven reliable for big horsepower. I mean, the twin turbo in the GTR is a beast. The B58 in the Supra is the new German 2J, and the Ford EcoBoost in the Ford GT is a gem of a power plant. Dodge has turned a page and entered the EV future, but they're also going to still be clinging onto internal combustion performance for as long as they can. And to help convince the Mopar maniacs to embrace the EV future, Dodge has carried over familiar variants of the lineup for the new generation, such as the RT, the Scat Pack, and eventually the Banshee. And not only are these familiar nameplates sticking around, but also getting a big boost in performance. The outgoing V8 powered RT had 370 ponies. The electric Charger boasts 496 electrified ones. The old 6.4 liter Hemi V8 in the Scat Pack got you 485 ponies. The electric Scat Pack will give you 670 lightning horses at your disposal, and you can pretty much take any car on the street out to the pasture. And the all-new electrified Chargers have this neat trick that's straight out of a video game. It's called the Power Shot, a burst of 40 extra horses for 15 seconds that can be used every 30 seconds until your battery runs out or your finger just gets tired from pushing the button. We're living in the future, aren't we? Now, better believe the acceleration of these modern muscle machines is absolutely bonkers. The RT will get you from standstill to 60 in 4.7 seconds. Not bad. But the Scat Pack will do the same in just 3.3. Dual motors, all-wheel drive, and the instantaneous electric torque all adds up to some serious performance. And who are we kidding? Dodge? All they care about is performance. It's like their middle name. And while most EV manufacturers and buyers prioritize efficiency, Dodge could care less. Dodge is betting big on these kinds of performance numbers to tempt internal combustion enthusiasts over to their new brawny EVs. And for the best performance, well, we're gonna have to wait just a little bit longer. That'll come with the Charger Banshee, which should be available sometime in 2025. This 800-volt beast will pack more than 800 horsepower and will be a 10-second quarter-mile car straight out of the box. Take that, Brian O'Connor. I mean, officially, this thing is the Hellcat's replacement. And Dodge is being hush-hush about the Banshee, expected horsepower and performance numbers. But given the many advantages EVs have over internal combustions, don't be surprised if the Banshee manages to go toe-to-toe with the Dodge Demon. But for all of those impressive performance numbers and all the impressive tech under the hood, no one is gonna buy a muscle car that sounds like this. Thankfully, Dodge has found a new way to give the Charger a voice.
I got family.
The Fratzonic chambered exhaust is exactly the crazy kind of invention that would make the Dodge brothers proud. It uses two passive radiators as vocal cords to give the Charger a roar that is capable of matching the Hellcat's 126 decibels, with the added benefit of being able to turn off if you want to go into stealth mode, you know, in case you need to run from the Pogo 50. Not only does this sound pump out of the exhaust, but it is also engineered to vibrate through the chassis, replicating the sensation of having a big thumpy V8 on the hood. It's also designed to respond in real time to driver control, aka you can rev it. Now, Dodge hasn't officially shown off what that final production car will sound like, but the demos given thus far have been extremely impressive. And the new Charger has looks to match. It looks like it's mostly inspired by the original second-gen Charger of the late 60s, which is a great thing. So easy on the eyes. And it's available in both 2-door and 4-door variants, along with a lift-back trunk and fold-down rear seats, making the next-gen Charger also one of the more practical in terms of lugging stuff around. There's a lot of classic design cues here, like that 68 style front grille and return of the old Fratzog logo. But the car also looks completely modern, especially the interior with its panoramic sunroof and pistol-style gear shifter. That is cool. All in all, the EV Charger sounds very impressive, and we'll have to see if Mopar maniacs respond and decide that they're willing to give up their gas guzzlers for this battery-powered bruiser. But maybe what's even more exciting than any of these EV Chargers is the announcement of the six-pack. Which, hiding the six-pack is this ideal tee of the Viper, and if you want to go snag one, I'll link to it up here or down it in the first comment. And yes, that is officially what the inline-six powered gas-guzzling Charger will be called. These six-pack Chargers feature the Stellantis Hurricane engine. Now, this engine is actually already available in the Jeep Wagoneer, Grand Wagoneer, and the Ram 1500, but it will be in its most powerful form under the hood of the six-pack, ripping 550 ponies to all four wheels in a high-output variant, and the more modest 420 horses in the standard output variant. Now, for those of you who like to flirt with oversteer, you will be able to put the six-pack in rear-wheel drive mode, just like the M3 X-Drives, which is really cool tech. And maybe it's blasphemy to want a twin-turbo six-cylinder in a muscle car, but I, for one, am stoked Dodge is charging ahead with a gas variant in the lineup, and it might even end up being the cheapest new Charger of them all. Pricing on all next-gen Chargers has yet to be revealed, but we're thinking somewhere around $55K at the low end, maybe $70K plus for the higher Scatback trim. I mean, guys, it's not 2001 anymore. $50-ish thousand for an enthusiast toy is bordering on cheap. Now, Dodge is obviously at a major crossroads. The Dodge brand and the Dodge brothers' identity has been steeped in hooliganism, an outlaw spirit that blazes its own trail, marches to the beat of its own drum. It's always been a brand that goes against the grain and only really ever cared about one thing: big, mean, loud cars that could really excite you. Put a smile on your face every time you drove them. When the Charger made its big return in 2006, it was after a 20-year absence. But the Charger is the car that saved the Dodge brand and carried it through the 2008 recession. Not to mention, it's the car Dom and Brian carried a bank vault with through the streets of Brazil. When it became clear the ICE era was coming to a close, Dodge gave the Charger and the Hellcat the biggest, most bonkers send-off the automotive world has ever seen with the Dodge Demon. Expectations couldn't be higher. Enthusiasts around the world are eyeing the next generation of muscle cars with a ton of skepticism. These new Chargers will be a litmus test. Can Dodge make EVs that give enthusiasts the same feeling the muscle cars of old gave them? If not, Dodge could be headed straight for disaster. And at Ideal, we love Dodge, so I'm hoping the charged up Chargers work out. But for me, I'd go with the Hurricane-powered gas Charger if I had to pick one, and I'd use the Ideal Car strategies to buy them, which we just unveiled our brand new free workshop, and I bet a lot of enthusiasts would pick the same one as me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Has Dodge totally lost their minds putting the Charger name on an EV? Kind of like how the Mustang Mach-E? Or are you on board and hoping that they deliver a Tesla-plaid killer? We'll all have to wait and see. Get the popcorn ready because it's gonna be a fun one. And if you want a little more Dodge action, check out this Ideal vid up here, or whatever YouTube recommends you watch next down here. I'm Brad the Financial Cowboy. This is Ideal. Like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and promise me one thing: keep living the Ideal lifestyle.